This meeting of the Senate Judiciary Committee will come to order. We have a few items on today's agenda, and first I want to recognize a new member of our committee. Senator Adam Schiff was sworn in earlier this week, and he's completing the remainder of our dear friend Dianne Feinstein's term. He's taken over Senator Butler's seat on the committee. No one can replace that trailblazer, Senator Dianne Feinstein. But Senator Butler rose to the occasion, was a valued member of the committee over the last year, and we wish her well. Senator Schiff, welcome. Would you like to say a word?
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. I'm really honored to be on the committee, and as you say, proud to be on the same committee Senator Feinstein served with, and someone who is a dear friend and mentor and just a giant in this institution. And I'm only glad the committee isn't bigger, because if it was, I'd be sitting on the ground. But it's nice to be sitting in the same seat I occupied when I first got to the House in the House Judiciary Committee, and really thrilled to serve with all of you and look forward to getting to know you better. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
We look forward to working with you as well. We have two judicial nominees at the request of the sponsors. We will not be voting on S2082, Ensuring Justice for Victims of Terrorism. I'd like to say a word about this being the last official meeting, scheduled meeting of the committee. We have advanced 373 nominees to the full Senate, including 242 judicial nominees. This is our 88th regular meeting. We've had regular oversight of the multiple agencies under our jurisdiction. I want to thank my colleagues for their efforts in that endeavor. This may be the busiest committee in the Senate. I certainly hope it is. I'm grateful for your willingness to show up here on Thursday mornings to debate nominees and fulfill our role of advise and consent. Ranking Member Graham, thank you for your partnership and your friendship. Working with you has, for the most part, been a pleasure. I also want to thank our staff. We could not do this without the staff behind us on both sides of the aisle, and I thank them for the hours that they put into this effort. I hope that we can continue to work on a mutual bipartisan basis under Chairman Grassley. He and I have a friendship of many years. Looking forward to that happening. And now I'm going to turn to Ranking Member Graham for opening remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It has been a very great pleasure to work with you and your staff. We've done some good things. We've had some good fights, and that's sort of democracy, I think. The Kids Online Safety Act, let's push hard to get it over the line. I know Senator Grassley's been a great champion of holding social media sites accountable. So in the next Congress, I want to pick up where we left off in terms of social media responsibility. It's time to sunset Section 230, I think, and replace it with something that the consumer has a voice to say. If they're grooming your children online, or if your children are buying substances online that do them harm, there's not a whole lot you can do about it. That needs to change. Senator Klobuchar, we've had just great working relationship with everybody on both sides of the aisle, and to our social media companies out there. We're in this thing to get a better outcome for the consumer. Hope you'll work with us. I've enjoyed it very much. To my staff, the absence of criticism is praise enough, but you have been great, and I really appreciate it. And, we'll have a new Congress. Senator Grassley will be in charge. I look forward to working with him under his leadership on our side of the aisle. Americans have turned the page politically, and the burden falls on all of us to do the best we can within the confines of where we come from and our political views of how the Judiciary Committee should operate. Senator Schiff, welcome. Senator Butler was terrific. She is one of the most pleasant people I've ever had the pleasure of working with on this committee or anywhere else. So she should be proud of her service, and we'll hit the ground running next year, and hope everybody has a good holiday.
Thanks, Senator Graham. Before I recognize Senator Grassley, who asked for a minute and a half, I want to acknowledge that Senator Klobuchar's bribery of the committee with pastitsa.
Patitsa. It's a Slovenian nut bread.
It's great.
Yeah, my heritage. It's an honor of your work and Senator Graham's work and everything we did this year. So thank you.
Thanks, Amy. Chuck?
Yeah. Want to ask help for getting a bill through here that we have to pass. On November the 5th, the American people sent a clear message that this country was on the wrong path and voted for change. With President-elect Trump's gigantic victory, there came a promise of a change, and we're already seeing that change pay off. Accordingly, last week, the Mexican military seized over 2,000 pounds of fentanyl pills in 2 raids in the state of Sinaloa, just days after President-elect Trump threatened to impose a 25% tariffs on products from Canada and Mexico unless those countries crack down on the flow of migrants and drugs across the border. I hope this is the first of many actions taken by the Mexican cartel to work with President Trump to shut down the cartels once and for all. Now, I know that's too hopeful, but at least we should see reduced cartel influence in the United States. Now to the more important near-term item. I would like you to note that we're days away from a lapse in the class-wide scheduling of fentanyl knockoffs. I have a bipartisan bill to extend that scheduling for a year. I need not remind folks that fentanyl remains the #1 driver of death from drug overdoses. Tens of thousands of people a year lose their lives to this poison. So I hope you, Chairman Durbin, and my colleagues on the committee will clear my bill immediately so that we can avoid a lapse in the scheduling. Thank you.
Good news, Senator. We've done that. I support your bill, and we've cleared it for inclusion in any remaining package that can be considered by the Senate. I know some of you have another committee that is meeting at the same time, so we're going to try to turn to the votes and then leave the floor open if anyone has any further comments. Up first is Judge Benjamin Cheeks, nominated to the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of California. Anyone seek recognition to speak on this nomination? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Whitehouse.
Aye.
Ms. Klobuchar.
Aye.
Mr. Coons.
Aye.
Mr. Gordon.
No.
Mr. Lee.
No by proxy.
Mr. Cruz.
No by proxy.
Mr. Hawley.
No by proxy.
Mr. Cotton.
No by proxy.
Mr. Kennedy.
No by proxy.
Mr. Tillis.
No by proxy.
Mrs. Blackburn.
No by proxy.
Chair Durbin.
Aye.
Chair Durbin, on this vote, the ayes are 11, the nays are 10.
The nomination will be favorably reported to the floor. Next is Judge Serena Murillo, nominated to the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California. Does anyone seek recognition on this nomination? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Whitehouse.
Aye.
Ms. Klobuchar. Mr. Coons.
Aye.
Mr. Blumenthal. Ms. Hirono. Mr. Booker. Mr. Padilla. Mr. Ossoff. Mr. Welch. Mr. Schiff. Mr. Graham.
No.
Mr. Grassley.
No.
Mr. Corden. Mr. Lee.
No by proxy.
Mr. Cruz.
No by proxy.
Mr. Hawley.
No by proxy.
Mr. Cotton.
No by proxy.
Mr. Kennedy.
No by proxy.
Mr. Tillis.
No by proxy.
Mrs. Blackburn.
No by proxy.
Chair Durbin.
Aye.
Chair Durbin, on this vote, the ayes are 11, the nays are 10.
The nomination will be favorably reported to the floor. Does anyone seek recognition at this point? If not, the Senate Judiciary Committee stands adjourned. Floor, does anyone?
Word.
No by proxy.
Chair Durbin.
Aye.
Chair Durbin, on this vote, the ayes are 11, the nays are 10.
The nomination will be favorably reported to the floor. Does anyone seek recognition at this point? If not,